So first thing we want to talk about is, what is the true fundamental of playing the game of golf? You need to take this ball and you want to send it to that target. And you're going to understand through this little presentation that you are not defective. You already have everything you need here to perform this task beautifully. We are Pinocchio without the strings already. And way too much of the instruction that you see today, we're trying to put the strings back on when we really don't need to do that. So you already have some incredible stuff built right into this, okay? And I'm going to show you how that works. So you'll notice here, let me introduce you to one of the best training aids you'll ever find. You go to this Home Hardware, online, $15.95.
What size grip is that?
That's jumbo. So the golf club, first and foremost, is designed to cut grass. Most people don't know this. You ask Steve Stricker why he changed his last set of clubs, he'll tell you better turf interaction. Why do you think we keep talking about the grinds on the bottom of wedges? It's so that we have more versatility around the greens through different turf conditions. So this is first and foremost designed to cut grass. So if I was cutting grass in my backyard with a grass whip, it would look like this. So you notice, swing plane is not an issue, is it? Did I ever have to put this on plane? No. I'm either cutting grass or I'm not. So there is no over the top with this tool. Otherwise your wife would fire you, right? So we're just cutting grass along the surface of the ground. Do you see how that works? So if I'm cutting grass in this direction here, notice how my body is adapting to that particular task. There is no over the top. There is no loss of lag. I would not cut grass like that. So if we take the same thing with the golf club, now a golf ball is simply a dandelion in disguise. That's all it is. So if I'm in my backyard and I got a little row of dandelions here, and I set up my grass whip, so you'll notice when I'm performing my cutting, I'm performing some nice tidy rows. My brain knows exactly how far to walk. So all I'm doing is I'm cutting dandelions. So what my brain sees when I'm looking down at the ball, so if many of you are struggling with ball contact, when I look down here, my eyes are on that little sliver of grass between the leading edge of the club and the ball. And what my mind sees, because it's really important to see the right task, I'm seeing the sole of the club cutting through the stem towards something. Okay? So if I'm cutting through the stem, peak speed is now over here. So most people think the peak speed is at the bottom where impact happens. So let me give you a couple of analogies that'll help you understand why peak speed is well beyond that. So if I'm going fishing, got my fishing pole, I'm going to cast my fishing pole out there. Notice where peak speed would be, where the line's coming out of my fishing pole. The lure needs to go that way. So I'm not going to send it up toward the sky and have the lure land on my head. I want the lure to go over there. Now, if you take that in the golf context, I'm gathering my fishing pole. I want the lure to go over there. So I wait. Cast my lure over there. So notice where my peak speed would be. Okay? So when I'm looking down at the ball and I'm getting ready to cut through the stem, imagine this as a machete now. I got a bamboo shoot in front of me, and I'm going to slash through this bamboo shoot. So there's the beginning of the cut, there's the end of the cut, and there's the release of your action. The release of your anatomy is going to be over here. So I'm cutting through the bamboo shoot. That would not be a proper cut. You'd need a medic now. So we're cutting through. You notice how we're getting out of the way at the same time. So if I have the right task in my mind, I will never have to think about weight shift. You get that for free. I will never have to think about clearing my hips. You get that for free too. So everyone that comes through our academy never fails this particular test. Who's good at skipping stones on water? How are you at that? You okay? Come on up. What's your name?
Mike.
Mike. Step on up to this beautiful green mat. Let's see you skip a stone on the pond right there. Amazing. Where did you let go of the stone? Out here.
Out there?
Where was your body facing when you let go of the stone?
It was facing that way.
Facing the pond. Exactly. Where was your weight when you let go of the stone?
On my left.
On your front foot. When did the weight get there? Don't worry, there's no bad answer here. When did the weight get it? When did the weight get there?
I didn't even pay attention to it.
See? He gets it for free. So most people think, oh, my weight got there when I was letting go of the stone. It actually got there way before you began the throw. This is called the kinetic chain. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. This is called the human kinetic chain. We've been around this planet for a while. We were hunter-gatherers for a couple of million years, and we threw a lot of stuff at our food during that time, right? So the kinetic chain is, first, we need the ground. Why? The brain's got to move the body out of the way. So if we look anatomically, in my videos that you'll see on YouTube, if you go to Wisdom in Golf, just dial that into YouTube, you're going to see one of our best assistants at the academy. Her name is Scully. She's a full-size life skeleton, and she helps us show our students how beautifully put together they are and how we need to use the anatomy in a proper way and not go against it. So if you look at your shoulders, you know, you hear about 90-degree shoulder turn. It doesn't exist in this machine. You get 20 degrees of shoulder movement in a human structure. That's it. So now you take your grip, you put it together here, and you got about a 5-degree buffer zone. So how do the shoulders move? Well, if I put club against my chest here and I just turn, my shoulders haven't done anything. They're just riding on top of my rib cage. So when I'm throwing something, brain's got to go get the ground, use the ground to get my body out of the way so I have access to the pond. If I don't move the body out of the way, I hit myself. And the ball's going in a very different direction. Okay? So whether I'm skipping a stone on water or casting a fishing pole over there. So if my mind is over there and not there, I will get my golf swing to perform beautifully without ever having to think about it. Okay? What gets into people's way is, but what about the ball? Right? Everybody's worried about solid contact with the golf ball. So how do you get solid contact with the golf ball? Well, your brain just needs a little breadcrumb trail based on your action to target. So if I do a couple of practice swings and I just cut grass, well, the brain says, hey, it's cutting grass right there. So how do I bring that to the ball? If I do that, that's over. It's like going bowling. Here's my bowling swing, and now I want to go to the center of the bowling alley, and I do that. That's not going to work. So I need to bring the whole structure over, and now I can go bowling, right? So I see where gravity is cutting the grass. Put it down there, bring that over. So now I see my dandelion stem. I'm going to cut through the stem that way. So ball contact is not an issue, is it? But if I focus on the ball, remember when you were skipping a stone before? So here's my stone. There's the ball. I'm going to throw this now over here. Everybody recognize that movement? That's your over the top. So over the top is not something that needs to be fixed. So when somebody says, hey, I have an over-the-top swing that I need to fix, I go, what's your focus? Well, I'm trying to hit the ball. I'm going, good swing. Because that's exactly how you need to move if that is your target. So some of the stuff that we do at our academy, we show people how to throw the club. Yeah. So we start off by throwing the club overhand. Nobody ever messes that up. Your brain says, okay, I want to throw the club over there, fine. So notice how you don't throw it toward the sky or toward the ground. Because you have a target, and I give them a specific target, they know exactly when to let go. Then we just turn that upside down and we show them how to throw it underhand this way. And now all of a sudden we have a golf swing. I put their swings on video as they're throwing the club. They've never seen such incredible lag. They think they're Sergio Garcia. It's instant. They get an instant weight shift, instant body turn, beautiful lag, and then the energy is going right out there. So how do we put the ball in the way of that? Now we're going to tap into something that we all do extremely well. We're amazing at predicting stuff. Okay? Let me show you how we're going to do that. So there's 4 major areas of prediction that they're going to allow you to hit this ball solidly. So if I stand up over here and I throw, let's say I'm throwing the club in that direction over my golf bag, but I don't let go. I'm throwing the club over there. So when the club doesn't come out of my hands, you'll notice that the right hand will get pulled over the left hand and everything comes back at me. So I throw the club way out there. Notice where my peak speed was. That's where we're going to hear the whistle of the club. And the club comes back to me and I get this beautiful finish position. So for those of you who think, well, how do I finish my swing? Well, where are you throwing the club? You throwing it over here? Or are you throwing it over there? Because if you're throwing it there and that's your target, why in the world would your body ever shift weight here and clear hips there when you need to go that way? Right? So if I'm throwing that way from here, I'm predicting that I will miss the ball. So I'm throwing over there, throwing over there. Yes, I threw over there. Yes, I missed the ball. So if I get lower, I'm going to miss the ball. I'm going to top the ball from here. So if I throw the club in the direction of just to the right of that center piece right there, it feels like I'm going to top the ball. I'm throwing the club over there. Yes, I threw the club over there. And yes, I topped the ball. So if the sole of the club cuts grass, if that cuts grass, then the ball has to meet the center of the club face, doesn't it? So now I'm just going to get lower. I'm going to miss if I throw over there. I'm going to top if I throw over there. Hey, it feels like the sole of the club is going to cut grass. Well, how about I go lower? Yeah, I can't throw over there anymore. Yeah, I can throw over there, and if I do, it feels like the sole of the club is going to cut grass. I'm throwing over there. I'm throwing over there. That was pasted. I predicted that, right? But if you say, I don't know, I want to make sure I hit the ball, you just canceled your trip. It's over. You can't go there anymore. Now you're forced to go over there. So now when somebody goes down here, and they go, oh my God, I can't believe I was so steep and I took this big chunky divot and my swing's going to the left. I'm so defective, right? Well, all you have to do is throw to the target instead of throwing at the ball. Now, distance to ball is the same thing. So if I overreach for the ball and I say, okay, I'm going to throw over there. Well, I can feel that there's no way I'm be able to hit the ball if I throw over there. Get too close. I can't throw. Where do I need to stand to be able to throw over there and hit it solid? Ball position's the same way. If I'm going towards my bag, we call this Goldilocks, by the way. She's the bomb. Goldilocks is your best friend out there. You know, sometimes you set up to the ball and you're thinking, something doesn't feel right. You know? How often does that happen? about a third of the time when you're on the golf course. So you're standing there and you're going, man, I don't know what's wrong. I can't put my thumb on it, but something's not right. And then you go and swing anyway. Right? They're waiting. Got to hurry up. And then you swing anyway, and now you're in the bush, and now you're waiting another 5 minutes. So if I play the ball way too far forward in my stance, and I want to go to my golf bag, I'm going to have to lunge after that ball to put it there. It's not going to work. If I got the ball too far back, now I have to reach back to go over there. No good. Well, where do I put the ball and feel like there, that feels pretty good. So it's going to be somewhere either forward to center if you're going to fade the ball, or slightly back to center if you want to draw the ball. Okay? So that takes care of ball position. So we got height, we got distance to ball, we got ball position, and the last one is your club face. And that's a big one, because many of you, the vast majority of you, think that when the club looks square at address and I got this beautiful, neutral, relaxed grip, that the ball's going to go straight. If I'm going to the target, right? If we look at that kinetic chain again that I talked to you about before, this is going to help your game beyond belief for many of you right here. So if I'm cutting through that bamboo shoot, brain goes to the ground, uses the ground to get the body out of the way. Notice how the elbow comes in first. As soon as my hand passes the elbow, I'm delivering my juice, right? So I don't want to shave bark down the tree. I want to get through the tree. So the elbow leads the hand leads the blade leads the tip of the blade. In baseball, same thing. If you're playing baseball, here comes impact. Playing hockey, we're collecting the puck from here and we're releasing the puck from there. So everything, all the tools that we designed as human beings are built handle first, apart from a push broom. But most tools are handle first. So you ever notice why hockey sticks have a curve on them? It wasn't always that way, but curves work a lot better. So when you got a curve in your hockey stick, it allows you to lead with the hands without losing the puck. So I can collect the puck from over here and sling the puck over there. So if you had a straight hockey stick and your hands go forward, you'd lose the puck. So now you got to reach back and make sure you don't lose the puck. So that's way less powerful for your golf swing. So if I close the face, let's say I'm closing the face 45 degrees. Most people, when they come to see me, at first, they look down at that and they freak out. They're going, are you kidding me? How am I supposed to hit the ball with that? However, if we put it in the context of our beautiful grass whip, and for those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the show, you can get this at Home Hardware, $15.95. You have to order it online because they're not going to leave this around the store for people to swing. That would be bad. So if I close my grass whip, see how close that is? And I'm going to cut through a dandelion stem. Well, I can still cut through the stem with this, can I? I would be sawing through the stem from toe to heel. I can also saw through the stem from heel to toe. That would be a flop shot or a bunker shot. If I start here and I'm trying to saw through, my hands are going to come through first. Look how open that is. So many books and articles, they talk about neutral grip and all that stuff, but yet look on the PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour. 70+% of all those players play with not a strongish grip. They're playing with a very strong grip. Bubba Watson, who just won this weekend, very strong grip. Paul Azinger, David Duval, those are the older guys. But then you look at Matt Kuchar, and so many of the players that you're going to see out there have extremely strong grips. So if I take a neutral grip with a closed face, see that? My hands are right there in front of me. And then all I do is I square the face. Well, doesn't that look like your average PGA Tour player? Right here. This is what's going to allow me to collect the ball from here so I can send the ball there. If your club face is too open dynamically, statically, it means nothing. When you're not moving, you're not moving. But we're going to move a ball over there. So when you're moving the ball over there, the kinetic chain of your body is going to kick in and you're going to lead with that handle. And if you're leading with the handle, that's going to open the face. So you better start with a nice, healthy, square, closed face, which will be dynamically square. So if it's not closed enough, I'm coming down and my brain says, hey, that's way too open, it's going to go right. Don't go right. And now you just destroy the axis of your swing just because your grip was too weak. So then a lot of them are saying, well, you got to bow the wrist. Okay, so if I'm playing baseball, you watch right here. I just put out a video over the weekend. You'll see in Bubba Watson's honor. Bubba Watson and Roger Federer move exactly the same way. So if you look at Roger Federer's backhand and you look at Bubba Watson's golf swing, you're going to see exactly the same motions going on in there. So there's impact in baseball. You see the position of that? That is so strong. I want to do a push-up. I'm not going to do push-ups like this. This is the strength position. So if the face is too open and I need to bow the wrist to square it up, do you know how many people can play this way? Yeah, Dustin Johnson, but Dustin Johnson did it when he was this high, and so did Graham McDowell. All the guys that play with a bowed wrist have done it since very, very young. And typically, young and a little bit weaker, because they don't have their muscular structure yet, things tend to collapse a little bit, and then they learn how to play with that. And then, as today's instructors, we're looking at all this stuff on video, and we're showing you, hey, look at this, man. He's the number one player in the world. You got to emulate the number one player in the world. Whereas we go the opposite way. Go, okay, number one, how's the machine work? So we have a full-size skeleton in our office. We're never going to show you something that works against your anatomy. Then, how does the wiring work? Well, I want to go that way. If I'm going that way, I get a golf swing. If I go that way, I don't have a golf swing. So your choice. You can keep focusing on the ball, but if your attention is on the ball, you literally have 180 degrees worth of possibilities out in front of you now. So what makes impact so precise is the fact that you have a very precise target. Take a lesson from Jordan Spieth. Small target, small mistake. So if I'm focused on, and that's why you'll see so much of our instruction, you have to have an intermediate point when you're playing. One of the things that you'll realize is, as humans on this planet, we're terrible with side vision, right? So if I'm walking down the street, there's my binocular vision, somebody calls my name, I'm going, hey, how's it going? We're always about face. I would never turn this way and say, hey, how's it going? Right? So the way we're structured through gravity, the spine goes through my rib cage and my pelvis, and that sits right there on top of my hips, and my hips go right into the ground. So I want to be as structurally sound as possible to last the longest amount of time. So I'm looking down here at the ball, and then I'm looking at the target. My eyes don't see properly from there. You cannot ever put any stock or confirmation in your alignment from here. And I'm sure all of you have seen this. You line up the logo of your ball when you're putting, and then you come over the ball and you go, that's not right. Don't listen to that person. That's the wrong person to listen to. You go back here and you go, yeah, that looks perfect. Well, now you're using your binocular vision, which is 1,000% correct. And then you go over here, and that side vision is absolutely incorrect. Never put trust in that. That's why we spend so much time as instructors on alignment. And you go out with your buddies or your friends, and you go, geez, you're still lined up way right. You look like you're going straight into the bush. And the person says, no, it feels like I'm going straight down the middle. So the person standing behind them has the real story, and the person standing beside the ball, he's looking at a mirage, or she's looking at a mirage. Okay? Then the worst part is, you're seeing a mirage, and your swing is reacting to that mirage. So right out of the gate, and this is where we're going to button things down. Your focus sequence is everything. It starts with what? Where do I want to put the ball? Okay, I want to go at that target there. Okay, we got the wind coming this way, so I'm going to start a little right of that target, let the wind bring it back to the target. So I have a flight plan. Without the flight plan, you can't set up. So now I say, okay, This is where my end target is, right there. I'm going to use that ball. And I want to start it just to the right side of that ball. Perfect. So now I set up my structure where I feel like I can go to the right side of that ball. That feels like I'm going way right. Even though this feels like, hey, that looks good, but in relation to this intermediate point, it's no good. That feels like I'm going way left. That feels like I'm going in the right place. Okay, so now, when I swing in that direction, when I cast my fishing pole in that direction, when I slash my sword in that direction, when I send my grass clippings, there's a good one. So imagine the sole of your club is a wood planing tool, and you got a nice wooden floor here, and you're going to take the wood clippings, the wood shavings, and you're going to send those wood shavings to your target. Your body will engage the ground, use the ground to get you out of the way, and then whoosh, you're going to get those wood shavings out there beautifully. So I'm going to use that as my focus. So now I want to send the wood shavings to the right side of that. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can. Can't. Can't. Can. Can't. Can't. Can. All right. So if I send my wood shavings with this club face, it's going to go way too far left. That's going to go way right, never come back. That feels like it's going to go pretty good. All right. So what's left? Send the wood shavings that way with a nice ease. Then off it goes. I told him to move that back. So you see how I stayed focused with, I'm going over there. So I get to have a weight shift, I get to have my body clearing, everything functions beautifully. So anybody have any questions regarding what we talked about? It's a pretty different way of seeing things, isn't it? Yep.
Why do you draw the ball every I swing, I always have a long draw.
Yeah. So you're saying right now that you're drawing the ball too much?
Yes.
Okay. So if you release your energy at the ball, the club face will close prematurely, and then you'll end up with too much of a draw. Right. So you're not releasing too soon because you're defective. You're releasing too soon because you're worried about something down here, or you're not staying with your picture. So when I'm down here, I'm going to go over my bag. My mind is on the space over my bag. It's still there, it's still there. Yep, I just released over my bag. My brain was here the whole time. But if you go, okay, make sure I fold my elbow, make sure I hinge my wrist, so now the brain is over here. And then, okay, now what? I forgot, hit the ball. So we call that a default. You're just defaulting to the ball. And then you kick yourself in the pants because you think you're defective. You're going, well, where am I going to get this thing? All you did is abandon the task. We want to go that way. So you changed that to that, no more overdraw. You'll probably need to close the face a bit more because when you go deep over there, you'll notice that draw will go away in a hurry. Okay? Does that make sense? Good. Anybody else have a question? Yeah?
So you want us to take a neutral grip and close the face slightly?
Okay, so many options. So he's asking, how do I go about closing my club face, right? So you can take your normal grip, because for many of you, a very strong grip would have the consequence of you having a lot of tension in that forearm. Well, when you're 9 years old and you do a super strong grip, as you play, you go 5, 6, 7 summers, no problem. But if you take up golf later on in life, where you've always struggled because your grip was too neutral, and you try to make that grip stronger, it'll feel way too strange. So I got actually 3 different options for you. Okay. Option number 1: keep the grip that you have, close the face. So you notice how I'm closing the face? I got to let go of the club, turn the face, and then re-grip. Because the grip is round, you can grip it any which way you want. So if I want to open the face, here's me opening the face. And if I want to close the face, here's me closing the face. So I close the face and go from there. Your eyes are going to go, man, that doesn't seem right. But hang on a second. So I'm back swing, fold hinge. I'm ready to cast my fishing pole. I'm casting my fishing pole, casting my fishing pole. Oh, look at that. It's wide open now. Okay? So if you don't like looking at that, you want to square it up and you can handle this, okay. If you want to do a little bit of both, fine too. What matters is when you release out there into your picture, is the ball flying the way you want it to? If you're releasing into your picture and the ball flutters off nice and high and to the right, you know that club face is way too open. If you release fully out there, remember the draw question? If you release fully out there and you literally felt, hey, the peak speed was out here and I felt a gorgeous swing in that direction, but it's drawing a bit too much, then you know your grip's too closed or your club face is too closed. Too closed, yeah. So the determining factor for how much open or close you should be is, I'm going over there come heck or high water, and how's my ball flying when I do that? Does that make sense? Anybody else have a question? Yes?
How does that apply? Is that the same theory apply to pitching and chipping?
Yes, very much so. So the question is, sorry about that. The question is, does it apply to chipping or pitching? Well, when I am chipping, I'm cutting a dandelion stem. And when I'm pitching, when I'm looking down, I can go open face. When the face is open, the leading edge of my club has those little teeth on it. And all I'm doing is I'm allowing the club to cut through that dandelion stem in the direction I want the ball to go. So when you're chipping and pitching, you'll notice that the most important part of that is your intermediate point. So somebody is aiming in a specific direction, so many people don't realize how far inside they take the club when they're chipping. So if I'm chipping over that spot, let's say I'm going to go left edge of that spot. Yes, that's left edge. How do I know? My eyes are here, and because my intermediate point is no more than a foot in front of me, I have it in my immediate peripheral vision. Yes, I just saw the departing blur of the club, and it matches the direction I want the ball to go on. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. So to get a swing on plane, your anatomy is already built for this, okay? How are we doing on time, Tim? Yeah? About 15 minutes? Okay, so here's a really, really great way to see how the body works. So, how's your softball pitch? Come on up. You got a bad shoulder? Do you want to come back, Mike? Sure. All right. You did a great job at first. So, take your golf position. Put that in your hand. All right. Now, let's see you underhand toss that ball towards me. Where's your body facing? Did you see that? So a chipping motion is simply, hey, one for you, one for you. So if you turn around the other way, pretend you're hitting a ball in that direction. Yeah, put that in your left hand. Toss the ball to me. So notice how Mike is not going to take it way inside. He wants the ball to come to me. Well, he's going to go in a direction that matches me, right? So, thank you very much. So you see how easy that is? So if I have a kid on a swing, I want the kid to swing towards you. Well, I wouldn't pull the kid back this way. I'm going to move the kid in a direction that would allow him to swing freely in your direction. So when I'm swinging my club, and you remember that grass whip we did before? Here's a very important tool that we use. This thing is 12 years old. I made this when I first got to Richmond Hill, okay? So if I take this ball and I just twirl it, gravity takes a hold of that and draws a beautiful arc. So notice how my hand's going up and down? So if I want this to meet the ball, well, my brain says, oh, look at the blur. We're too high, get lower. We're too far, get closer. Right? So I'm not trying to hit the ball. I'm letting gravity track an arc, and I'm going to let that hit the ball, right? So if I only had one arm, here's your ball in a string. See where the center of that motion is? Your shoulder socket. So if I go that way as wide as possible, you'll notice how everything gets pulled up into a gorgeous arc. So now I bring both hands together to take my grip. Center of that machine is here, the sternal notch, where the two clavicles join the rib cage, okay? So if I go very wide in a direction that fits my target, watch what happens. So I'm going to go left edge of that ball right here. That's left edge. Keep going wide, keep going wide. So notice how my body's turning out of the way? Keep going. So notice how everything gets pulled up. At one point, your right arm's going to have to fold. If it doesn't fold, now I got all kinds of tension in my body. So if I do that without strain, at one point the right arm's going to fold. It's going to rotate my forearms naturally. You're already built for this. And then it's going to hinge my wrists. Hinging of the wrists for fishing, for hammering, right? So coming back to that strong grip that we talked about before, here's me hammering straight down. So notice my body's nice and level. I got this beautiful neutral grip, right? My hammer can go straight down. Now I want to hammer that way. How do I hammer that way? See my grip now? That looks like a pretty strong grip, doesn't it? But this is exactly how, so if I take one of my students, I say, okay, hammer down, now hammer that way. Everybody does this. Nobody ever does this. Right? Well, this is how 80% of you are playing golf right now. You're playing like this. So most players on the PGA Tour or the LPGA are playing like this. Remember Lorena Ochoa? Notice at the top of her backswing, she'd have this big dip to the side with her head. Well, she starts off here like we've been taught, but as she gets to the top of the backswing, she says, I need to put the ball over there. Yep, now she's hammering that way. And it was her coach and her tried to teach her out of it. And it didn't work. Thank goodness she wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame today. So you look at Rory McIlroy, does the same thing. Nice setup, top of the backswing. Whoop, now you'll see his head tilt to the side. He's going that way. And you'll notice Rory has a very strong left hand on the club. The money's over there. It's not over here. So we get into a beautiful position to cut grass that way, or hammer nails that way, or cast fishing poles that way. We're going that way. Then we just, hey, where does the ball need to be in the way of that? And how do you need to grip the club to go over there? And it's in your first half hour, you're hitting benchmark golf shots. Then you go, oh my gosh, this is what I need to do, because you'll actually feel what a good shot needs to feel like. I hope that answered the question. So when you're chipping, don't let the left arm hit you going back. Don't let the right arm hit you coming through. That would be Jason Day. That would be Steve Stricker. They both have that kind of a chipping motion. So that's exactly the kind of chipping motion that you want to emulate if you're going to respect this machine. Okay? Do we have time for one more? Yeah? Anybody else have a question? Yeah? Pardon me? How do you correct a slice? So if you look at the curve, let's say we're playing soccer, right? Everybody kick a ball? So if I want to kick a ball and make it curve to the left, how would I set up? I'm going to approach it on an angle. Notice in football, they come back here and then they take a couple of steps this way and they're getting ready to apply their action on an angle. There's a reason for that. You have a center, right? A human body is designed to make circles. Are you trying to hit the ball straight? There's the first problem. So you want to choose either a fade or a draw. So if you're trying to hit the ball straight out of an arc, it's like somebody trying to kick a football this way. You don't see anybody kicking footballs like that, indeed, right? Maybe in the early days, but not anymore. That's because when you're approaching the ball, when the leg plants, now you've got your base here, and that leg is going to swing in an arc. So a golf swing forms a natural arc. All you got to do is just cut grass in both directions, and you'll naturally have a beautiful arc. Okay? So if you want to draw the ball, so the first thing I would do with you is I'm going to show you how to draw a ball. And it's really not that difficult. So the club face would represent the inside of your foot. So if I'm kicking a ball like this, notice I'm using the inside of my foot, which is aimed that way, by the way. And my action is actually going over there. So if I take the club face and close it, there's the inside of my foot. And then I play the ball a hair back in my stance. So if this is the center of my stance and I play the ball just a little bit back in my stance, I'm approaching the ball naturally from the inside. And you know, at first they go, back? I show you how to hit a 3-iron off the back foot and have this gorgeous big draw with a beautiful height on. Okay? So I would aim directly at my target, play the ball a bit back, close the face, and then get behind the ball. Doesn't that look like my swing is moving to the right? So if my swing moves to the right, see where that started? And my face is closed. You hear the contact? That was really nicely compressed. Then the ball's going to curve to the left. If my focus is on hitting the ball straight and on the ball, here we go. So typically, because I'm trying to see the target this way, most people tend to play the ball too far forward. So if you're playing the ball forward, you're actually catching the ball as your club is moving to the left. And because your club face is too neutral, you're swinging to the left with an open face. Well, that's like me kicking a soccer ball like this. And the ball's going to go this way. So I'm going after the ball. See where my swing's going now? And my face is too open. That's going to give me a nice slice. So if I'm playing a natural fade, so let's say the ball is cut to the right side of the green. I'm going to take my aim to the center of the green. So you see that center post right there? I'm going to aim a little left of that. Let's say the center post is my target, my end target, where I want the ball to end up. So I'm going to aim left of that, play the ball a hair forward to center, and close the face less. So this is my draw. I'm collecting the ball slightly open. The ball compresses against the face and rides along the face for a while, then releases from it. So I'm collecting and I'm releasing slightly closed. That gives me a draw. If I close it a bit less, I'm collecting very open, and the ball's now coming off the face, still slightly open. That's going to give me a fade. So I aim left, play the ball slightly forward to center, and stay left. So notice the ball started left. If it stays straight, I'm in the center of the green. And if it fades back to my pin, hey, I may have a little bit of money on that hole. Okay? Does that answer your question? So if you're slicing, close the face significantly, and then send the energy of your swing to the right of your target, and see how the ball curves. Have fun with that on the range.